Mayor, by the time this airs, camp is going to be over. The Colts training camp for this year.
Yeah.
What did you think about 2022?
2022 was a fun challenge because it was our first year post-COVID. We expected big things, and big things happened. I think there were, maybe 3 days out here where it was sold out. What more could we ask for? That and the weather, Chris. The weather has been, fantastic.
Our first day was inside because it was raining.
That was it.
And that was it. It's been beautiful. It's been hot certain days, but really the weather has been a key factor for this training camp.
It has been, and it's. I know it's been good for our players. It's been good for all our volunteers. The weather. It's been like mid-September.
How do you when you do communicate with the Colts executives and talk about training camp? What has been the feedback you've received this year?
The feedback is. I talked to Mr. Ballard. I talked to Mr. Ward, and their feedback was really identical. They said, "Mayor, just look, this is exactly what we wanted to have happen."
So after training camp is over, do you typically do a review with, how does that work for you?
Well, we all get together, and primarily Matt Trinian and his staff work with the Colts staff, but we're always looking for improvements. My conversations with the top leadership is, I don't know what we're going to do better. We're always striving to do so, and every year we'll find better ways to tweak it. I mean, the Colts, moving Colt City over here from Lot G was huge to put everybody together. Being able to get back to fans around the field, to have autographs, get close to the players afterwards is just a huge part of what makes this probably the premier camp in all of the NFL.
So there was a night practice that was sold out. There was a Sunday practice that I know was sold out. And then we had incredible attendance for the 2 days that the Colts practiced with the Detroit Lions.
That is always a huge time when they bring in an outside scrimmage. We usually have a little excitement along the way. I mean, you think about it, you got 93 players vying for 50-some positions, and it's life or death. But it's always exciting. We've had great volunteers. The crowd control has just been excellent. The staff here at Grand Park just receives accolades. And behind the scenes, our public safety people, our public works people, our IT people, everything is falling into place.
Not all NFL teams want the public around for training camp, and yet this is embraced. This is embraced by the city, obviously, but also by the Colts at this beautiful facility here.
Well, when Chris Ballard came on board several years ago, we met with him. We'd been talking to the Colts before he was here, and he came in and he said he looked at this place and he said, "We have to be there." He's very large on marketing. Carly is adamant about bringing people here from throughout the state that couldn't normally maybe afford season tickets, and to get people familiar with what the Colts are, what they stand for. You'll see a lot of people here that perhaps won't be at the games during the year, but here they can see and feel and touch the NFL.
So next year, we're already looking forward to next year?
Absolutely.
So beyond this is a great accomplishment for the city of Westfield to be able to host this team, but to host it as well as the city does.
Well, it takes hundreds of volunteers, which we bring in every year. I just met a gentleman downstairs, a volunteer, and he has lived here for several years, had to move back to Michigan, and he said, "I still volunteer down here. I come down and stay, and then I go back home, but I continued to do so because it's such a wonderful experience."
Jeff Brown, Director of Operations for the Colts. Jeff, if you can place a grade on this Colts camp, what would you give it this year?
Wow, I mean, I think there's nothing less than an A+, right? I think, after the last couple of years, obviously 20 we weren't able to come here. 21, COVID kind of still around, right? I think fans were still reluctant to come out, and that's why we come. We come for the fans. And just seeing the outpouring, the attendance this year, and also the energy that they bring to our team. Our team loves coming out here. They love getting on the golf carts and coming through the woods. And so I can't say anything but great things about not only Grant Park, but the city, the fans that have come out, and just the overall experience for all of us.
Do you feel it gets better each year?
Absolutely. I think, we work really closely with Matt Trinian and his team, and each year we get to know each other a little bit better because there's a lot of things that even we forget about that we do, and they're a really good support staff for us, and they help us get ahead of things. And then on the fan side, obviously they're a huge help there as well, especially with volunteers. And it just gets better every year because, one, we get more comfortable, our guys get more comfortable, they know what to expect. But two, we find little improvements each year that we can make, things just a little bit better. So it's been great, yeah.
You look at other teams that look at what you've done, and specifically with Detroit when they were here.
Yeah.
I mean, they were impressed with the place. Do you get those kinds of comments?
Yeah, I couldn't be more proud of some of the things that Detroit said about our camp. In fact, they are looking for a camp themselves. They'd like to come back here too. And, you can't be more proud than when people say, hey, you put together something really nice. And I think, a lot of times I'll get credit for that, but it's a huge team that puts this together, including the community, including the volunteers. And we can't do it without every single person that puts this together. So it's really nice to hear those compliments. We put on big events all the time, right? And so it's nothing that we're not used to, but it's great to hear that not only are fans impressed in our team, but other teams. And I think that's a huge compliment.
Is it hard to duplicate a Grant Park?
Absolutely. I think that's what we heard even from Detroit is, man, we'd like to go away for camp, right? But where will we get this, right? And I don't know that you'll get this anywhere, right? I think that's what is so attractive to us is, we've got 2 indoor fields we can practice on. The 3rd indoor field we use as a weight room and a team room. I mean, there's nothing like it. And then to be able to, again, get these fans out and get them out in and out of Grant Park easily, you don't hear any issues with that. I think it's really hard to replicate this.